My guest at this time will represent the Inner Circle as they take on the Pinnacle at AEW Blood and Guts. It is Sammy Guevara. Sammy, thank you very much for taking the time to chat with me here today.
The pleasure is always yours. Just me being a Spanish guy, taking some time out of his day to chat with my best buddy here.
Hey, Sammy, I appreciate that, man. And, it's nice that we can be friends now because people seem to like the Inner Circle now. That's way different.
I know. People are already starting to like me, which was getting weird. So I'm glad everybody else is on board and they're liking everybody now,
Sure. Why was that weird for people to like you? You're a likable enough guy, Sammy.
Well, it's just like they liked me, but they weren't jumping on board with everybody else in the group. So it was like I was the only guy that was liked. So now I'm glad everyone is liked.
Yeah, man. That's a change of pace. Do you prefer when the Inner Circle gets to be, well liked, or do you like it when the fans are, you get to kind of antagonize the fans? Which dynamic do you like better?
So here's the thing. If you look back at all of AEW, I don't know what I did that made people hate me at all. When you look at Jericho, the other guys, they kind of initiated all the beatdowns, everything else. I was just kind of there. So I'm just me and me, I don't know if I was ever really a bad guy.
Yeah. Well, people do like you. I mean, there's a likableness factor to you. Of course, there's the Run Sammy Run meme that has just taken over when you got hit by the golf cart there with Matt Hardy.
That hurt.
Yeah. Do you like that is a thing? That's been, how does it feel to become a meme, Sammy?
So it as you know, I've gotten hurt a lot on the independents with not a whole bunch of people watching. So the golf cart thing hurt a lot, but at least a lot of people saw it. So that gives me some kind of weird mental thing where I'm like, okay, it's justified at least.
Were you scared? Were you, when they're like, we're going to hit you with a golf cart, were you hesitant, or did you just, like all wrestlers, just say, yeah, let's do this thing?
I remember if you look back at how Jericho took it, he barely touched it.
Right.
And I remember saying oh, I'm going to make this look crazy. And Jericho was like, no, man, you don't have, you just barely hit it. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, okay. I said okay, but in my mind, I'm like, nah, this is gonna be crazy. And I was still mad at it. I wanted it to look even crazier than it did. I wanted to do a helicopter spin, but it didn't work out.
Yeah.
But even when I got super kicked by Matt Jackson, where I bent in half and nearly broke my leg, I remember I told him beforehand too, because that was the only thing. I wasn't even in that battle royale. All I was doing was taking a super kick. So I was like, hey Matt, I'm gonna make this look crazy. He's like, all right. I'm like, no, I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna try to make this the best one you've ever done. So any kind of opportunity I get, I'm going to kill it every time.
That's the thing, Sammy. I know that you go out there, you give it your all every time, but there have been, especially with the Matt stuff, there were a couple very scary incidents there. And, I'm sure you saw the pundits and the critics that, were like, Sammy Guevara, very dangerous person to have in a wrestling ring. How do you feel when you see that kind of, narrative put out there?
Yeah, the Matt stuff was just unfortunate, sir. A bunch of unfortunate stuff happened there. It was almost like we were cursed for a minute.
Yeah.
We had a great one-on-one match before Double or Nothing last year. That's what people forget. We had a great one-on-one. Nothing happened between us. But then, yeah, all of a sudden stuff started happening. It is what it is, man. People can have their opinions. That's their right. I know who I am. It's wrestling. This isn't the easiest of things to do. And I know everybody wants to be safe and stuff, but this stuff is dangerous to do. And so, as much as everyone wants to be like, oh, he's dangerous, he's that, there's a reason I'm in the ring and these people are not, what we do is very dangerous. And there's a reason I'm doing this dangerous thing and they're watching this dangerous thing.
Okay, well, I think that sets us up perfectly here. Blood and Guts going down here Wednesday night. What is your mindset going into this crazy match?
So it's been 105 days since I've last wrestled.
Yeah.
Which is insane to say. I haven't been out of the ring this long since 2011. And so I have this crazy match, two rings, big ass cage. I'm going there to kill it, man. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I said it last year when this was first announced, and then it got canceled. Imagine what I'm gonna do inside this cage, or outside this cage. You know, we'll see what happens. But I'm excited. I'm excited to show people and remind people why Sammy Guevara is in the inner circle, why I am the next top thing. I feel like people just forget so easily. Every other time I'm on Dynamite, it's like, whoa, Sammy's so good. I'm like, yeah, I know.
You look very confident right now. I saw you last night when you were going head to head or mic to mic with Sean Spears there. You've grown a lot, Sammy. Like your confidence in the ring, you really seem to have, really started to find yourself in a lot of ways, I think.
Well, see, that's the thing though. Like, I don't get the like, I haven't gotten the opportunity to talk a whole bunch. And so like, I feel like I'm just the diamond just sitting here, like, hey, whatever you give me, I'm gonna make gold out of it. You put me in a battle royale and with Jungle Boy, and I'll make a moment out of there. There's like 30 guys in there, and we'll have some crazy apron thing that makes people think like, whoa, these two guys. Anything you give me, whatever little moment I'm out there for, I'm gonna shine because I'm a diamond, baby.
So you brought up 105 days since your last match. What's been going on? Why haven't we seen you in 105 days, Sammy?
Man, I don't know.
No injury, nothing like that. Just
I'm perfectly healthy, man. I've been going insane personally. Just because it's like you want to go out there and you want to go and kill it, especially when you see your friends doing really good stuff. I'm happy for them, but it's also like you get that itch where you're like, yo, I need to jump in there. Well, I quit the inner circle, so I was out for a month there. Then I came back. Then I got my face stomped through a chair. Had to get a tooth fixed. Got cracked. Yeah, and it just now we're building to Blood and Guts. And as much as I want to be out there, I also don't want to wrestle just for the sake of wrestling.
Yeah,
I want the stuff I do to matter. So I can go and have a bunch of crazy matches, but if the people are not invested in these matches, what's the point of doing them?
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, that's just it's been noticeable that we haven't seen you getting a lot of in-ring action, especially right now with the young guys. I mean, Jungle Boy and Darby, really starting to.
Man, Darby's killing it right now.
Main eventing 2 weeks in a row, man. Right?
Yeah, and he main evented with Matt Hardy. Like, yeah, he's killing it, which is good too because he went from not wrestling at all leading up into the Sting match at Revolution. Now he's wrestling like almost every week. So I remember he was getting a little frustrated too. He's like, yo, I'm the champ and I'm not wrestling, but now he's wrestling a lot. So he's killing it too. I'm happy for him.
So you could see yourself maybe walking a similar path here. You've been away for a little bit, but now you're back and fresh, and maybe this is a chance for us to get to see some more of you on AEW Dynamite. Yeah.
Yeah, and also like I try to look at things from other perspectives. It's like I said this in 2019 when I wasn't on All Out on All Out or Full Gear in 2019. I remember thinking it's okay because next year I'm gonna be on all the pay-per-views, and I was on all the pay-per-views in 2020. I missed Revolution this year. I haven't been wrestling a whole lot, but it's okay because I know it's all gonna come around. Like, and then when I start wrestling a whole bunch, I'm gonna be like, man, I missed these days when I didn't wrestle every week. So you got to just take everything, look for the silver linings and things.
For sure. And so kind of back here to Blood and Guts. There were all these reports, and I think even Jim Ross mentioned on commentary that this was going to be a one-match show, but now there's like 4 other matches, I guess, that have been added to the show. Did you expect this to be a one match? How do you feel about this kind of becoming more of a pay-per-view card as opposed to just one match for the whole show?
I mean, I think yeah, what you just said, pay-per-view card, this is it's a big deal. So I'm glad that they're making it a big deal because it's a big match, and I'm excited for it. We'll be the main event. I think this will be like my 16th main event on Dynamite. So I'm pumped for it, man.
So how is it logistically does this work? Will the other matches be in 2 rings, and then before the main event, will there be a cage that is lowered or built, or how is this?
I think so. I think they have to build it because I don't think there's an apparatus to lower it, especially how big it is in the Daily's place. So I guess they're going to have to build it. I don't know how long that takes. Yeah, I'm not too familiar. I just go there to go, jump off of things and wrestle. So I'll let them worry about the logistics of doing it all.
There was another thing that just came out today that there might be more fans there than usual for Blood Guts. Have you heard that there? I think it was 50% capacity is what was floated out there today for Blood.
I did hear that. Yeah, I'm pretty pumped, man. I went to the UFC event last weekend, and there was like 15,000 people there. I was in a box.
I saw. We all.
Yeah, I was not in the people, like, even though it would have been cool to be there, but trying to keep things as safe as possible. We were in the box, but it was just so cool to see them chanting and stuff. It was like, wow, that feeling of like, I missed that. So if we're gonna be at 50% capacity, I'm all for it, man. I definitely miss having people there.
Yeah, how is it? I mean, you guys have had the luxury of having some more fans there before other promotions have. How is that? Has that been? I mean, I'm sure that's kind of been better for you to have some reactions going on there. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, thank God for Austin Gunn, man. If he wasn't ringside, I tell him this all the time. Like, you literally saved the show. And I'm glad he's getting to do some stuff now with the Nightmare Family versus the Factory. But yeah, he was like the loudest one, and he kind of motivated everyone around him to make some noise too. So it's been cool. It's definitely been different. But we made the most out of this situation, Yeah. And I feel like a lot of weeks, like, I don't know, maybe I'm just so used to it now. It's like, okay, yeah, it actually feels like a show still, even though we have little to no fans. It's just the people ringside. Still feels like a show.
Yeah, for sure. Well, kind of getting back to Blood and Guts here a little bit, man. This parlay segment last night became like a little bit of a diss battle. I feel like between both factions, and you got to, Spears got his stuff in, and then you got to fire back, and you called him a failure, man. And it was like it was a pretty deep cut that you called Spears.
That was mean, huh?
Yeah, it was pretty mean, man. But like, do you sympathize with the guy at all? I mean, for having these opportunities, but never kind of getting a solid, hand dealt his way kind of deal.
Oh, 100%, man. I mean, if you look at him, he's tall, he's jacked. I mean, he looks like a wrestler, and so for whatever reason, he hasn't gotten his due. But wherever this whole thing takes us, if it's me and him down the line, I am excited to wrestle him, because I feel like there's a lot that people haven't seen with Shawn Spears. And I feel like I give a lot of people their best matches. And so I don't know if anyone's ever said, hey, oh my God, have you seen that Shawn Spears match? But once Shawn Spears wrestled me, they're going to say, oh my God, have you seen that Shawn Spears match?
Fair enough. And, Spears, you've had a couple, WWE vets that have made their way over to AEW now. Most notably recently, man, Christian Cage. Dude, what's it been like for you getting to share a locker room with that guy? I mean, I feel like you two are kind of cut from the same cloth in a lot of ways.
Dude, he's such a funny guy. Just like little things, like there was one week where he just walked out there, and I think he just stood. I think maybe it was when he debuted. He put the contract there, and he came to the back, and he's like, hey, how'd I do out there? I'm like, oh man, the way you put your feet, it was so great. He's like, yeah, the way I put the left one in front of the right one. Oh yeah. You got to write that down, kid. I'm like, okay, I'll write it down, sir. He's a really funny guy. I like that he's here.
Yeah, man. And how about Big Show? Same thing. Like, what's it like to have that guy in the locker room now too?
Yeah, Paul. He's such a cool guy, man.
Sorry, Paul. I'm so used to calling him Big Show.
Paul. Big Show, Paul. I just say Paul because I got to get used to it myself.
Sure.
He's been Big Show to me since I was a kid. So, but yeah, no. Show, he's such a cool guy too. He talks to us, he tries to give us advice and stuff like that. And yeah, he just seems like super approachable. He's not like trying to be big league anybody. It's good that you have these certain type of guys come in, and I hope everybody stays that way too, because they just came in. So everything's like that honeymoon stage kind of thing. But I think as long as we all are in this locker room trying to make everything better and the best product possible, then it's all going to work out and it's all going to succeed,
Yeah, well, it would seem that like the elite are not really part of it. Like they got their own limos and stuff. Like you talk about big shotting people, like not even wearing pants and like fancy earrings and things like
Hey man, they talk about being rich, but their limo was pretty small. yesterday.
That was pretty noticeable, right? Like how crammed they were into that limousine.
Yeah, I don't know if there was just no limos to rent or they couldn't afford a bigger one. I don't know, but you can't talk about how you have all this money spending 10,000. Maybe that's why they had to get the little limo because they spent so much money on the shoes.
Got it. Yeah, they should call Cody, get the bus treatment.
Get the bus. Hey, but for real, Nick Jackson is they're definitely rich. He showed me his bank account. Dude's rich.
Okay, cool. But like with the Elite kind of off doing their own thing right now, I mean, it kind of seems like an inevitability that the Inner Circle Elite might collide here in the not too distant future. Do you think that might be the case or no?
Hey man, that'd be cool. I mean, we did it last year, and we were the bad guys; they were the good guys. So it'd be like a flip of the coin,
Yeah,
alternate universe. I'd like to run it back. I mean, they beat us, so I'd like to run it back. Maybe we can get the win on them.
Yeah, for sure. And what do you think about Kenny Omega taking that Impact Wrestling Championship over the weekend? It really
Man,
was.
I think.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say it really didn't seem to get noticed or mentioned too much on AEW Dynamite.
Yeah, I'm wondering, how that's all gonna go about. I know Impact even put up like a teaser for Slammiversary. I know they did that last year too, but like if Samoa Joe versus Kenny, that'd be a sick match. I don't know if that's what the plans are, but I think that's cool for Kenny, man. He's definitely cementing his legacy. He's been the IWGP World Champ, AEW Champ, AAA Champ, Impact Champ. He's kind of collecting them all. He's the dude from Avengers, man. What's his name? Thanos.
Damn.
Yeah, that's cool. I think it's dope for him. I don't know where it's all going, but hey, I'm just here watching the ride.
So there were a lot of reports that went out that there was like something that happened between you and Impact. Do you want to comment on that, or would you like to pass?
I mean, there was a lot of stuff that was said. It's just business at the end of the day. I know I didn't really say nothing out there, and all the stuff that came out it's only coming from one side, and some stuff wasn't true. I don't really want to comment too much on it. It is what it is. It was what it was. I still wish everybody the best. We're all just trying to succeed at the end of the day.
Yeah, for sure. And so talking about success here, man, it doesn't look like, we're hearing rumblings about, other shows getting back up and on the road. What do you think with AEW, man? Like, what do you think by the end of the summer? Do you think there's a chance fans will be able to see you in action, maybe coming to their hometown or something like that?
Man, I hope. I mean, I'm hearing the rumblings like maybe by the end of the summer, but I try to keep my ear away from actually knowing any real information, so I don't know anything and I could just be surprised. But if that's what it is, that'd be really cool. Texas, where I'm from, they open back up, so maybe we can come to Texas.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Texas is great. Well, yeah, kind of, finishing here with the blood and gut stuff. I wanted to pick your brain a little bit, man. I know this is a very unique kind of match. Are you going back? Are you watching tape? Are there any kind of influences you have or anything you're pulling from as you're going into this bout?
So it's funny you say that because Cody likes to make fun of me because I'm so young. He's like, "Have you even seen a War Games?" And I'm like, "Yeah, man, of course. I love when Kane debuted." And yeah, he just sent like a middle finger emoji, like "fuck you." But besides that, no, I am watching old tapes. It's history, man. We've never done one in AEW, and I'm trying to make this the best one. So I gotta go back, watch some tapes, see what other people have done. Try not to copy what they've done, and try to make something new and fresh. So definitely.
All right, cool. All right. Well, hey, Sammy, I want to thank you so much for taking some time to chat with me. It's so great seeing you getting to live your dream and, be on national television. I hope we get to see more of you on national television.
Thank you, man. Yeah, I hope so too. Hopefully, instead of just saying El Gramala or whatever fake Spanish, I'm saying maybe I'll be doing some more,
Yeah, I mean, you're pretty good with the cue cards. I really enjoyed that.
Hey, those came back yesterday.
I know. That's why I brought him up. I was watching. I was like, man, that's a good bit. That's a really good bit.
Hey, made it into an action figure.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Right? Man,
yeah.
Now you're over, right? Now that you have the action figure.
Bro, I just need to get in the game, win a belt, and I did it. I did everything,
Yeah. All right, Sammy, what do you want to plug, promote, put over here before we wrap up the interview today?
Oh man, I want to plug the vlog that I've been recording this whole time. Hello. Go subscribe to Sammy Guevara on YouTube, and that's it, man. And tune in to Blood and Guts on Wednesday, May 5th.